happens to a child when he's raised up without without a concrete value system? What happens to a child when a child grows up without a formed or a formulated value system? What happens to a child when you as a parent did not bring him up in a value system? What happens to a child or to a human being, to any human being that grows up without a value system? Now, that is catastrophic. Value system acts like an anchor. Value system is the core of a human being. Value system is the core of a human being. It is what holds the body together. It is the core. So if parents did not raise their children up with a concrete value system, deterioration comes. That child falls apart. His life is never together. He is never having a guiding light, a lighthouse. He is never having a direction in life. He is never purposeful. He is never goal-oriented. He is never gathered. He is never together. He is never really, it's never really gathered. It's never really gathered. So that's what a value system is. That's what a value system is, what a worldview is. Now, let me show you what happens when there is no core. When the core of a person is absent, when the core of a person is absent, this is what happens. You see, there is no bone. There is no spine. When there is no spine, when there is no core, when there is no skeleton, no spine. See what happened to her? It's only a bunch of body. It's only a bunch of body. That's what we call it biomasses, biological mass. It's only a biological mass, and it's not, the body cannot hold her together. She cannot stand, and she just collapses. She collapses under the weight of her own body. Now, what does that mean? When you are not having a core, you are always collapsing under the weight of your own life, under the weight of your own body. What does that mean? That means that you are always overwhelmed with your problems. You are always living for yourself. You are always overwhelmed with your problems, with your issues of life. So a person that is not raised up with a concrete value system and a worldview, they grow up, always consumed and overwhelmed with their own problems. They are always thinking about their issues. They are always thinking about their problems. They are always thinking that, I don't look nice the way I look, the way they talk to me, or people don't like me, or look at the way that person look at me, look at the way this one look at me, this one didn't greet me, this one think I'm bad, oh, okay, I'm not smart, I'm not wise as that one, oh, I'm ashamed, oh, I'm inferior, or I'm not as slim as the other person is slim, or I'm not as tall as the other person is. They are always overwhelmed with their own realities. It's just like you saw in that picture. That person without the value system, without a core in his body, without a spine, the body, it just collapsed inside his own body. The weight of your own life, the weight of your ungathered life, the weight of your unstructured life, the weight of your unconcrete life overwhelms you. It overwhelms you so much that you are overwhelmed with your life. But the person that has the core value system, the person that has the worldview, the person is standing straight, is purposeful, is purpose oriented, is goal oriented. He knows what he wants. He stands tall, stands straight. He's not consumed with his own problems. He's not consumed with his own situations, with his own realities. He's not thinking about himself from morning to night. He's always thinking ahead. He's always going ahead because he's strong. He can stand up. He's not tied down with all depression from morning to night. Someone that he doesn't have a core value system, the person is always thinking about himself. Where can I get a job? What job can I get? How much salary can I get? When will I marry? Who will marry me? Nobody will marry me. Oh, I'm beautiful. I'm not beautiful. What school will I go? What school will I go? Would I have a good life? Won't I have a good? They are overwhelmed and consumed with themselves because they don't have any projection in life. They don't have any navigatory system in them, because a vision, the value system, is the navigatory system in your life, so that it's leading you to, and you have the spine, you have the strength to be able to go towards the direction that you're supposed to go in your own life. But the person that is just having body and is having flesh is not thinking about going forward. He's only thinking about himself. Because he's collapsed in his own situation and realities. So to grow up a child or a baby without a value system is even better not to have grown up that child. It's even better not to have given birth to that child. Because that child will end up bringing more sorrow to you. That child will end up bringing more headache to you. That child will end up bringing more troubles, more tragedies to you. You will even regret having given birth to that child. But that is not even the whole problem. That is just the beginning of sorrow. Because that child will go beyond giving you problems. That child will become a source of problem. That child will become a source of sorrow to a lot of people in his own world. It will begin to bring sorrow to the relatives. It will begin to bring disgrace to the name of the family. It will begin to bring shame on himself. It will begin to bring shame on his own family. It will begin to bring shame on the country. It will become a burden for the nation. It will become a burden for the country. That's what a lot of young people in Nigeria are today. They are a disgrace. They do 419. They do scams. They bring bad name not just to their families. They bring bad name to themselves. They bring bad name to the whole nation. Their very existence is costing the nation millions of dollars, billions of dollars. Their very existence is calling the nation its reputation. Their very existence is costing the nation. Everything good is being destroyed around these people. Why? Just because some people call themselves parents and they gave birth to these children and didn't give them value system. When you decide to marry, it's not worth it marrying if you are not ready to sit down and formulate your own worldview about life. Your own value system, the value system that you are already possessed with, the value system that you live by, and the value system that you are ready to transfer to your children. It is not enough for you just to give them food to eat. It is not enough for you just to provide clothes for them to wear. It is not enough for you just to feed their body. You've got to feed their soul. You've got to feed their mind. You've got to feed their intellect. You've got to feed their spirit. And you've got to help them become a personality. The purpose of upbringing, the purpose of parenting is to give birth to personality, is to raise up personalities, raise up individuals that are able to infect the world with their values, that are able to infect and change the world with their values. Now, what are the things that happen to a person that grows up like that without a value system? Yes, the person could be going to school, the person could be smart, it could be a good student, it could be very nice, it could be a good athlete, it could have natural talents. But the person will only be intelligent. The person could even be a Christian, go to church, be a good pastor or a good church goer, a good believer. But if he doesn't have a core, if he doesn't have a value system, what happens to him at the end of the day? What happens is those kind of people, they go into the society and they don't have a concrete, established position on the truth. These people that grow up without the value system, they never have a concrete foundation of the truth. So the truth to them will always be situational. The truth to them will always be relational. The truth to them will always be either it is like this now because that is the way everybody says, the society will be determining their values. And even when they don't agree with the society, even when their value system, their personality and their person conflict with what is happening in their society, what they would do is that, okay, I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. I am not doing it. I'm not stealing. I'm not killing people. I'm not sleeping around. Or I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. But that is the reality here. People, that's the reality here. They come to agree with the situations, the status quo. Yeah, that's it. They come to agree with the status quo in whatsoever society they see themselves. They agree with the status quo about the government, about the issues. They can talk about it, but the reason why they don't agree in their mind, they don't agree in their heart, but in their actions they agree. Now, how do we know that they agree? Because they don't do anything concretely to challenge the status quo. They don't have the strength. They don't have the spine. They don't have the cord. They don't have the spinal cord. They don't have the energy. They don't have the conviction. Their conviction is not strong enough to make them take a stand and change and alter the status quo. They don't like to confront the status quo. Why? Because their primary concern is about themselves. So they are afraid that when they confront the status quo, that it will have some effect on them. It will have a backlash on them. These people are always afraid of a backlash because they are consumed with themselves. You remember, they don't have that spine, and because they don't have the spine, they are buried in their concerns. They are over-concerned about themselves, about their body, about their realities. They live in their own reality. They make their own safety, their own concern, their own comfort, their own peace, their own safety to be above and over God's reality, the reality of the truth, the reality of God, the reality of values, the reality of worldview. So they make their worldview secondary. They make their value system secondary. They put their value system aside so that whatever is happening will not affect them because they are consumed with themselves. They are more concerned about their own safety. They are more concerned about their own comfort. They are more concerned that nothing will touch them than to stand for the truth. But the person who has a spine, but the person that has real spine, that has value system, that has a concrete worldview, he stands tall. If he has that spine, he stands tall whatever is happening. He takes a stand, a strong stand for whatever he believes. And he establishes his belief system. He does not agree, and he does not allow the tide of the current situation. He does not allow the status quo to overwhelm him, and to sweep him over. He takes a stand and fights for what he believes. He takes a stand and establishes and uses his own belief system to convince and to change the belief system of the erroneous value system that are around. Now, for a person of value, he knows that for him to lose his value is to lose himself. That is what Martin Luther King Jr. was saying, that if you don't have something that you are so convinced about as to give your life for it, then you are not alive. You are not living at all. So, because it's a man of value. Only men of value system talk like that. That it is, there must be some set of value system that you will rather die for than to compromise, because it's a worldview issue. It's a worldview issue. You know that these things are right, and you will never succumb to them or tolerate them or allow it to have preeminence around you. You stand against the things that are wrong. You stand against the things that are not right. You have a position because the truth is absolute to you. So that's why it is very important that we raise up our children with definite value system, that we have our own worldviews that we are convinced about, that we now that we now invest in our children, that we now use to raise our children up. That is why every father or mother must have that time every day, especially between the age of 3 and the age of 12. You must have that time, for your children, when you invest in them 30 minutes or 1 hour or 45 minutes or 1.5 hours of time, that you just invest in them values, that you just cultivate. You keep on cultivating in them, grafting into them the core values of your life, the core values of your worldview, and you make them to be people of purpose. I mean, you make sure that they are established in these things while they are still young. It is when they are young, when you establish them in this value system, that they fight for it when they are bigger, and there is no amount of storm that will be able to take them away from it. So what does that mean? But for people who don't have value systems, who are not raised up with value systems, they don't have a solid foundation, and they don't have a solid standard. They don't have standards. They don't have standards. So everything, so if they are, for example, I know people from my country, Nigeria. I'm from Nigeria, and I'm a black person, and not just from Nigeria. I see blacks everywhere. They like to talk things like, I'm the first black person to do that, or I am the best. I have the best this thing here, maybe business among the black people here, or I have the best that among the Nigerians here. Oh, I'm the top Nigerian, so I'm the first Nigerian to do this. They are always measuring themselves with their equals, or they are always measuring themselves with people around them or people like them of their color. But I think that is a value system right there. That's a wrong value. That is the absence of a value system. Because if you have a healthy value system, you know that you should not even be comparing yourself with people who, with the worst of people, or with the average of people, or with the weakest of all people. You should be comparing yourself to the very best in the world. For personally, there is nothing that I do that anybody will be better than me. It doesn't matter what color they are they Europeans or they are Americans. It's just I made myself to be like that. But before I got the worldview and that value system, and I built that into myself, I couldn't even be in the first 10 in my classroom. Among 30 students in my classroom, I was always the last. But that is what value system does for you. That is what worldview do for you. By the time you have the right value system, you know that it cannot even happen any other way. So there is just no way of being the best among Nigerians or the best among blacks. I don't even talk in that sense. You know who you are. You know what you have. You know what you can. You are sure of yourself. That is the kind of mentality that we're supposed to bring up in our children. That is the kind of mindset that we are supposed to engraft in them. And that is the kind of mind, because especially we that have the Bible, especially we have the potential, the foundation for this. But just reading the Bible religiously, this happened, the story of this, the story of this, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not talking religion. You could be going to church, you could be religious, you could have the Bible, but not walk in values, not walk in the right worldview. So you must be able to sit down and formulate your worldviews. You must be able to sit down and cultivate those worldviews and be able to know the values that you live for. And those values have to be put into your children. And those values are the things that guide them. They are their compass or true life. They are their light, guiding light or true life. They become their mission, their goals. They become the things they live for and the things they strive to aspire towards. They have a standard and they don't go lower than that standard. So I see, but people who don't have standards, they get satisfied with the fact that, okay, we are doing well, we are not bad. I get a salary, good salary. Oh, yeah, I'm well paid, Oh, good job. Yeah, not bad a job. Yeah. Oh, nobody, out of my classmates, I'm the best, yeah. Oh, nobody in my classmate does so well like me. Oh, yeah. Oh, people of my age, out of the people of my age, I'm the best. Oh, yeah. Oh, good salary, yeah. Because there is no standard. There is no standard. But when they have value system that determines a higher standard for them, they know that If God is in them, that is a worldview right there. If God is in you, you are greater than he that is in the world. You don't have any excuse for anybody to be better than you. If God is in you, he that is in you is better than he that is in the world. If you believe in God, he said you shall be the head and not the tail. You are the first and not last. That is a worldview right there. And that kind of worldview must be in that child from the very beginning. So all his life, when he knows that he has to be the best in everything, he doesn't change it for anything. He might not be the best in the classroom, but he has to have the mindset. The fact is not that you are always taking first, always taking first. In life, it doesn't work out like that. Sometimes you will fail. Sometimes you will not take first. Sometimes you will miss some things. Some things will not work together. But the mindset must be there. The worldview has to be there. The worldview still has to be there. Now, so let's talk about another aspect, another reason why this is important for you to raise up your children in with specific value system, and to be able to give them the biblical worldview of life, the idealistic worldview of life. And the reason why we should do that is because let me talk. I will title this little subtitle. On what basis does somebody without value systems, on what basis does he take his decisions? On what basis will your child, will your baby, will your son base his decision-making process? So what helps the decision-making process of children that grow up without a value system? What is it that will determine your decision-making process? I mean, yesterday actually, I was watching, going through in Facebook, and I read an article there whereby a lady, one girl, although she was telling a story, and they are making it a big news in the internet that she's a student in one of the universities in Nigeria, and so she needed money as a student in the university. So some foreigners, white foreigners, unfortunately, some white Europeans, a lot of white Europeans, they don't have God, right? They have lost God long time. And, the things that it's not allowed for them to do in Europe, they go and do it in Taiwan, in Thailand, and other places like that, and Africa also. So these people took these girls, all the university students, many of them, few of them, took them to their house where they were living, and what they were doing, they were not even, they were paying them, but they were giving them good money offer and telling them not even to sleep with them. They were not just sleeping with them, but they would bring out their dogs. They had dogs, and be forcing and be making these women, these students, to be sleeping with the dogs, and so one of them became addicted. So that she is the one that was now talking about that story. But what I think about that story really is that it is a propaganda by some people who are interested in propagating perversion in the society. They are the ones pushing it in the newspaper. But even if it's a good story, even if it is a true story, I'm sure that that girl, she comes from a family where they taught her well, but they didn't teach her according to, in a systematic way. They didn't teach her in a structured manner. They didn't give her a set of value system. They didn't build a system into her. So even though she needed money, she was compromised. She was thinking she was going to sleep with with men. But when the men now said, okay, we will pay you 10 times more, 100 times more, but sleep with my dog. Not one of them refused. Not one of them ran away and refused to do that. Can you believe it? They compromised because of money. That is what happened. And their fathers and mothers, they will be going to them with church. They will be going to church with them. They are Christians. They will be going to church. They will be in the choir practice, everywhere. But because they don't have, especially when they're there with white men, with Europeans, they cannot say even no. Then when they have the money on top of it, they couldn't even say no. What am I saying? When people are not having, when a values, when a value system has not been put in them from the beginning, this is kind of thing that happens. Okay, you say, I do Gideon. He's saying, don't judge. Don't judge. He's not judging. I'm just using this as an example. I'm using this as an example of what happens to people that grow up without value system. Now, anybody could make mistake, anybody could sin, but I'm just telling you of worldview. What is the role? This is my topic, the topic of my message. I'm using this as an example that people will be compromised. And when people are saying, don't judge, like you have just said now, you are actually saying where everything goes. That is exactly a manifestation of lack of value system too. That is one of the manifestations of lack of value system. When you say don't judge, is that judging? I am not judging the individual. You can only judge individual. But I'm just narrating what happens in life. I'm judging I'm condemning the occurrences, the things that happen to people without values. I'm actually not doing judging or condemning. I'm only describing what happens to people without a system of value system or worldview. And when you are saying, oh, don't judge it, that is exactly what I'm talking about. That means that you yourself, even though you will not do it, most likely, even though you might not do that, or you might not even, go and practice it, but by saying don't judge, it means that everything goes. It means that you don't have a worldview. It means you don't have a worldview. You don't have your own, worldview. Even if the person who has done that, even that girl, she's supposed to have a worldview that says what is right and what is wrong is wrong. Even though I did this, but I still know that it is wrong to do it. And I still not just know that it is wrong, you must be able to name what is good, what is good, and what is bad. We must be able to separate darkness from light. God, that is the way God created the world. He separated darkness from light, light from darkness. It must be clear. Good and evil must be separated. And there must be a clear demarcation. There must be a clear demarcation between good and bad. There must be demarcation between, evil and good, darkness and light. You cannot just say, oh, don't worry, don't judge. Oh, well, okay, it can happen here. Oh, it might not happen there. Oh, don't judge. You don't know what happened. Oh, yeah. When we are finding reasons and we are finding explanation for darkness, we ourselves are part of that darkness. When we are finding explanation for evil, it means that we ourselves are evil. Now, all of us can do evil. All of us can be involved or engage in dark things or bad things or sinful things. But it is another thing to agree with it. It is another thing to embrace it. We are not embracing it, but we must have a worldview that says, even I did this, even I made this mistake, but these things is not the way it's supposed to be. So this is one of the things I'm saying, that people who don't have a concrete, established value system, when they fall into situations that they will not be able to take a stand. And the reason why they want to take a stand most of the time is because they are afraid that they themselves will fall into that. Or they will do something as bad or something worse, and so other people will condemn them. But it doesn't matter if you will do something as bad or worse, your value system still must remain. Your worldview still must remain. So it is not your conduct that determines your worldview. Your worldview must be based on the truth. And it is the truth that's supposed to determine your worldview. It doesn't matter what you do personally or what you fail to do, but the worldview must remain the same. Just like I said about the student, that you might not be the best, but at least you still know that it is the best that you have to be. That it is possible for you to be the best, and that you must strive always to be the best. So when you raise up your child or a baby without a value system or without a system of value system, without a value system or a worldview, that child will grow up and it doesn't have anchor. It doesn't have anchor to hold him together when things are necessary, when in debatable situations. People with worldview, they have their own determined and clear-cut borders and boundaries. They have a clear-cut boundaries. So they are not debating. They are not swaying. They are not being swayed when it's time for decision. They know how to take decisions. They have ability to take decisions because they have a set of values upon which they base their decisions. So let me just say it in a different way. For people who are raised up with a core of value system, they base all their actions and their decisions in life and their worldview upon that set of values that they have. Their values determine their decisions. Their values determine their actions. Their value system that they have, that is living and dwelling in them, determines their reactions and their attitude in life. But those people that don't have a clear cut and a set of value system that they were raised up with, they grow up and they are always deciding not according to a set of value system, but they take their decisions based on the situation and on circumstances. So if it is the thing that has happened is affecting them, they might be against it. But if it's not affecting them, it goes, anything goes. Or if the majority of the people that are there, they are for the thing, then they are for it. Then if the majority are against it, then they are against it. If they are in the right company or group of people that is for this thing, then they are for it. If the majority of the people they are in their company say, we don't do it, they will not do it. So it is a situational kind of lifestyle. It's a lifestyle that is not based on values. That is not based on, they don't base their decisions on value system, but on circumstances, on situations. That is catastrophic. It means that they are not the same ever. It means that you can never put your hand where they are. You can never know where they are. They don't have a set of truth. Another thing that determines their decision and on what they base their decision is on their feelings. If they feel like this, they just do it. They don't base it on values, but they base it on feelings. And decisions are not supposed to be based on feelings, but on value systems. The next problem with these people is that they base their decisions on safety first, on self-preservation. On self-preservation. They want to preserve themselves first. They want to get secure. They want to, they want to make sure that they will not have side effects. And whatever decision they are taking, that it will not affect them. Or it's going to affect them positively. So if they are going to gain something from me, then they do it. If they are not going to gain anything from me, they say, why should I do it? I don't have anything to gain from it. Can you imagine that during the election of Buhari and Jonathan, I was writing articles. Can you believe how many articles I wrote? I wrote 56 or 57 articles. I wrote just to convince Nigerians, anybody that will listen to me, why we must not vote for Jonathan and why we must have a change. Can you imagine what people were writing me all the time? People were writing me abusive words and calling me names. I said, you don't need to call me names. I'm not calling you names. I'm just presenting my case. You present your case, but they don't have the ability to present cases. People that grew up without value system, they don't fight intellectually or with logic. They don't bring forth argument. They bring forth emotions. And then that is not even the most troublesome thing. Many of them began to write and say, we are sure that somebody has paid him, that's me, somebody has paid him to do what he's doing. He cannot be writing. I was writing articles every day and publishing them twice a day. Writing articles every day and publishing them. And somebody was saying, they are paying him. Someone is paying him for sure. There is just no way that he could be doing this without somebody paying him. which reviews a school of thought right there, which reviews the category of people these people belong to. They are people that are growing up without a value system. They are empty people that are used to doing only things where they have interest. They only do things where they have interest, where they have self-interest. So it is ego that's at the center of their lives. So egocentrism is what determines their decision, not values. So see, these people will say, okay, it's one thing to write one article, 2 articles, 3 articles, no 4 articles, 5 articles. But how can a human being sit down and write 56 articles, and every article maybe about 10 pages? That's like 500 and something articles. 500 and something pages. How can a human being do that without having self-interest? So they say, oh, they have promised him that he will become a politician. Oh, they want to give him a cabinet in Nigeria. Oh, maybe somebody has paid him. Oh, they have bribed him. Because that is the cry of a corrupt society. Because the majority of people who are saying that, they are revealing who they are by saying that. By saying that, they are saying that it is only they who only do things where they are bribed. It means that they are for bribery. It means that they will only do things by compromising themselves, or by self-gain, or by self-interest. The same thing they are telling me now with this MMM. Some are saying, oh, you don't have work to do. Oh, go and face your business. Go and face your church. Pastor, you should be researching the Bible. You shouldn't be researching MMM. Don't write this thing for, maybe you are having something to gain. Maybe somebody has paid you. That is showing where people are. It means that we are having a society of people where a group of people, a society of people where people are driven by self-interest and self-motive. We are not getting used to people doing things sacrificially just for their ideals. We are not used to people doing things sacrificially just for their convictions. We are not used to people doing things sacrificially just because of their values. We are not used to people doing things sacrificially just because of their ideals and their value systems and their principles and their worldviews. Even this thing I'm doing here by coming on every day, twice a day, doing this video and teaching you people, equipping you and trying to motivate you people and give you what I know. Some people say, how is he doing this thing without offering? Why is he, how can he be doing this without offering? And people are still trying to find the answer. Where is my gain? Where is my interest? My interest is in the values that I have. My interest is in the worldview that I have. And that's why we must recreate a society of values, value-driven societies. In my own case, it is kingdom-driven. This is my book, Kingdom-Driven Life. This kingdom-driven life is about the fact that I'm driven by the kingdom. I'm releasing another book now that is going to be called, what do they call it? What's the name of my book? I'm releasing another book in a few days' time. If you have not pre-ordered your own, you might want to go and pre-order it. It's my book my last book for this year, and it's going to be a book that to help you people and to help everybody become a provoked generation. That's the book. The next title I would have called the book is to become a provoked generation, a generation of people that are provoked by unrighteousness. But you see, people that don't have value system, even if they are provoked, they will only be complaining in their kitchen. They don't have any power to be able to insult by ungodliness. Yes, the book is called Insult by Ungodliness. Insulted. Is it insulted by ungodliness or insult by ungodliness? Insulted, I think. Insulted by ungodliness. So ungodliness should be insulting us. We should be feeling insulted by ungodliness. And some people are saying, oh, face your business. What is if we face our business, every evil that is happening in the society, in any society, is because people are facing their business. That is horrible. It's the worst thing that you could do. If you face only your business, it means that you don't have value system. My book is called Insulted by Ungodliness. Insulted by Ungodliness. So we should be, with any ungodliness that is happening in our society, we should feel insulted by it. And that's why I'm writing this book. That's why I'm teaching this topic. But some people are no more feeling insulted at all by any kind of ungodliness. Everything goes. Ungodliness doesn't insult us anymore. We ourselves are almost the promoters of ungodliness. I think it is on sale already. It is on sale already. How do I show it to you now? Yeah, the book is on sale already. I don't know if you can go to my Facebook, if the pre-order or whatever you call it button is there, you can go and pre-order your own. This is about these values that I'm talking to you about, so that you are never comfortable with ungodliness anyhow around you. And that is the kind of generation of children that we are supposed to raise up. We are supposed to raise up a generation of children that are going to know what is right from what is wrong, that are going to be able to differentiate between righteousness and ungodliness, between light and darkness. Now, another factor is that when you raise up a child without a set of value system or worldview, a concrete worldview, another thing that happens to that child is that child is only living by himself. He's only living egocentric life. He's only living self-consumed and selfish lifestyle. So he's only directed by his own interest. He's only looking for what is good for him. So those kind of people can sell their fathers. They can sell their mothers. They can sell their country. They can sell anybody around them. They can sell their church, their pastors, anybody. They are only guided by their feelings, by their emotions, and by their own self-interest. Another thing that determines the lifestyle of these people is that they only operate by what they see, or what they can feel, or they are only driven by immediate results or immediate gratification. They are only driven by what they see now, or what is profitable now, or what is beneficial now. They don't have the ability to look into the future because there is no navigation in them, no navigatory system in them. They don't have the ability to see far or to look far. They are only seeing what they are seeing right now. So if anything for them is good now, they are ready to go to cross any border, to cross any line, just because they want to have that immediate gratification. They are driven only by what they see now, or what they can get now, or what is surrounding them now. They don't see far. They don't, because that's what I was saying in the morning, that it's a philosophical view of life. The philosophical view of life of these people is that it is what I see now that matters. It is what I can gain now that matters. But because that is materialistic, ideology, or philosophical ideology of life, or philosophical understanding of life. I mean, the philosophical, what view of life. The philosophical view of materialism says, it is what I can gain now that matters. It is what I can see now that matters. Or there is, anything that is happening determines their reaction. What is happening in the immediate, or what they see in the physical, is what determines what they do. That worldview, that philosophical worldview, is called materialism, or materialistic worldview. But the way a normal human being is supposed to live is to live by the idealistic worldview, the idealistic lifestyle, the idealistic worldview, which says that even though these pressures are on me right now, but I have a set of values in me. The values are invisible, but they are more valuable to me, and they are stronger for me than the gain that I'm going to have right now. the values that I have in me, the belief system that I have in me, even though you cannot see them, you cannot see the profit right now, you cannot see the reward right now, but they are much more stronger for me, more convincing for me. They are stronger for me to take my decision based on that, rather than base my decision on something temporal now that will give me temporal satisfaction. Let me explain to you how that helped me through life. When I came to Soviet Union, and Shinwei is here, Shinwei understand what I'm saying now. And maybe some other people that also, I think Daniel Atsenga also knows Russia. I think he studied here as well. They will, all the people who studied here, they know what I'm talking about now. When we came here to study as Russia, as students from Nigeria, we were all poor, of course, but there was an opportunity for students to always go to the West and, carry things in, just stuff, and sell them here and do business that way. So you could travel outside and bring in jeans and so a lot of things that the former Soviet Union didn't have. So we could bring those things. We could bring computers. We could bring station, stereo station and things like that. You could bring all kind of stuff to sell here. But that thing was illegal. That thing was illegal in the Soviet Union. They call it speculation. It's like you are speculating on other people who don't have the advantages that you have. So it was illegal. But a lot of people were doing it. I mean, I know people who were building houses back in Africa, being students here in Russia. They were buying cars, sending cars home as students here. Why? Because they were doing illegal things, because everybody was doing it. But I said, no, this will give me immediate satisfaction. It will give me immediate gratification, yes. But if I do it, I will be compromising my value system. And, even people who are listening to me now, if they studied here, they will tell you that it is impossible to live without those things. I will travel, but I will only buy things for myself. But I will not buy anything to sell. I will not sell, because I was having a set of values as a Christian. I was born again already, and I didn't want to bring the name of God to disrepute. And I didn't want them to catch me and then all scandal and everybody know that I was a Christian. So I wanted to live by the invisible values. Even though I was suffering, I was not having all the things that everybody was having. I was a poor student. I was just sleeping on the bed. They used to call it Leninsky cravat, the Lenin's bed. Lenin's, just like those hospital beds. That's the kind of beds we had, like in the hospitals. Like that's what we had in the dormitory. And all our students, they used to have fridge, bed, furniture, any kind of thing there. But I was just living like a poor guy. But I knew that if I could persevere, but that the invisible values like integrity, like faithfulness, like hard work, like focus, like discipline, all these invisible values, even though they were not visible, but I was richer than all those people who were building houses in Africa. And they were buying cars and having everything. I knew I was richer than them. Because one day, everything visible will come out of invisible. One day, my invisible virtues and qualities that I kept on developing in myself, all those qualities that I was developing, they will give me all those things that those people have, but by that time, most of them might not have those things anymore. Because everything that you have now, if you base your life on the physical things are always temporal. Material things, that is the problem of materialism, materialistic worldview. Materialistic worldview is about what is happening. If you base your life upon the physical material things that are happening, they are only temporal. They will disappear one day. The car might have accident, the car might break down, the house, you might have it, but you might not have money to maintain it. You might need everything material, physical is temporal. If that is what you are basing your life on, and that is what I've seen with a lot of people, it will be temporal. You will lose, you might not even lose those things, but they will not give you The person that is having his values and base his life on the invisible things, he is richer. He is the person that is really richer. Because the person might not have anything right now, but if you will continue to persevere, to practice those invisible values, those values will create. And they will bring to reality because we believe it, that everything visible now, they come out of invisible world. God was invisible. God is still invisible. But from that invisibility, he spoke everything physical into being. So if you base your life on the invisible values of God, if you base your life on the worldview of biblical worldview and a set of values that are established in heaven, if you will know that that is your mindset, these things are more powerful than everything the world can offer you. You will never change them for anything. You are established in them because it's a matter of value system. By the time I finished my university, I was praying to God for $2,000. That God give me $2,000 because I needed to send all my stuff back to Africa. But you know what? God never gave me $2,000. By the time I finished my master's, I was only have $200. And with $200, I didn't even know what to go, where to go, what to do. But I thank God he didn't give me that $2,000 I was fasting, praying, give me $2,000 so that I can pack my stuff as I go home and at least I'll be able to rent a house in Lagos or somewhere. But thank God, God didn't give me, because God knew his plan for me. God knew his plan for me because I didn't have money. I didn't have anything to take with me. But I had values that I developed. So what happened? Let me give you this example, because even though I didn't have anything and God didn't give me that $2,000, so I couldn't even take anything, but I was ready to go to Africa. Just as I was ready to go, in Ukraine here, I studied in Belarus. In Ukraine here, they were looking for a first-class student, and I finished first class. Can you imagine if I had not dedicated myself to excellence? If I had not dedicated myself to striving to be the head and not the tail, to be the first and not the last? If I had not dedicated myself to being the best, if I had been pursuing after the genes and the television and the stereo set, that I was living like everybody, I will finish maybe second class upper, second class lower, just normal. I will just finish normal like any other person. But I will not get that opportunity to move over here and be given the job I was given. You see, I didn't have the temporal, the physical things, but the things I was developing myself, the discipline, the focus, the pursuit, the stamina, the perseverance, the faithfulness, the focus, all those things made me to become the best student in the university. And then opportunities always come to people who are ready, who have prepared themselves ahead of time. So when I was about to go to Africa, this opportunity came. They couldn't find anybody who was good in English, good in Russian language, and finished with distinction. So that is how I was moved from Belarus. Instead of going to Africa, to Ukraine, they gave me 3-bedroom apartment immediately. They gave me official Volga car. In the 1990s, that's what 1993. Volga car, the Volga is like a Mercedes-Benz here. It's like almost Rolls-Royce of Russia. They gave me that official car with a driver. And I was just coming from the university. And I was getting my salary in US dollars when this economy was collapsing that time. I didn't have anything yesterday. But I was dedicated to developing the virtues. You see, that is the difference, you see. That is what happens when you see that value system is more valuable than the temporary things people run about. You know, those people that were running about building houses, buying houses there, and all that, you know what happened to them? Today, in fact, for them to even say they know me, it is their biggest pride in life. It is their biggest pride in life. People who studied with me in University Belarus, who were building houses, traveling over there. They are doctors, engineers, but no, they are just normal. They are just human beings. They are just human beings going to work. For them now that we study with Pastor Sunday is their greatest achievement in life, you know. Why? Because value systems, when you can devote your life, living your life according to value systems, they are much more sustainable and they last longer than things that are just, you know, temporal that everybody's running about and running after. Now, there was another category of people that were studying with us in the university those days as well. And I almost fell into that. My God, God just helped me. Because they were my good friends who were doing this. So what happened was, I would go to England on holidays, and to Germany on holidays. And then there will be, and to Holland. And then there will be people there who will discover that we were Christians. And we too will go and look for Christians. So we're not smoking, we're not drinking, we're not having boyfriend, girlfriend, or any of those. We're not selling. And they will say, oh, since you are a Christian, why should you be living in Soviet Union? Because Soviet Union is a country of atheism and, you know, no God. Why don't you just move over here to England, to London or England, and let's give you scholarship to go to Bible school? Or let's give you, you know, we will help you. You will stay here and struggle and you can go and start your education here. But many people fell into that. Many people actually, and you know, but the difference is that we were not having the comfort of the Western world, but we were having scholarship. All of us that were here at that time, we were people here on scholarship. We were studying on government scholarship. Even though things were tough here, physically we didn't have anything. We didn't have the comfort and the flashy life that people had in the West. But you know, the people that didn't have the will, the strong will that was strong enough, they went and moved over to England, to France, to other places, to America, and they started from scratch. But when you go to America and England, no scholarship. So you are supposed to be a medical student, or you are supposed to be an engineer student or a lawyer, but you are not. You didn't have a scholarship. So they have to go and be working as guardians. They have to be working as guard at night. They have to be working at, security men. They have to be going to work in England, America, and even France, like either security men, guard, and work as cleaners, and working 2-3 jobs. And 20 years later, many of them are still working from morning to night like this. So instead of them finishing their master's degree in 6 years, some of them, it took them 10 years, 15 years to be able to even finish master's degree or first degree even. They are just strugglers. Why? Because they went after what is flashy immediately. What looks attractive immediately. And that is the temptation, that things that are flashy, they don't, if you are a person of value, they will not sway you. You know your decision. You know someone that has value system is someone that has a compass. That value system that he has is like a compass in him. That person that has value system is like somebody that has a direction, a guiding light. You know, a guiding light in front of him. He has like a navigation system in him. He's not easily lost like that. But, you know, those people who left their scholarship, in fact, as a matter of fact, let me even say this. There was a girl there. She was the daughter of, let's say, a governor in Nigeria. We have governors. So she was the daughter of one governor. And governors, in our own eyes that time, now is today, I know that governors are just nothing, just some clerks. But in Nigeria, when you were there and when we were students, we were thinking that governors are big men. And some people are still thinking they're big men now. But to me, they are not. They're just clerks now. But anyway, but you know, in Nigeria, by Nigerian standard, that's a big man. So this girl came with me we were in the same class. And she was so beautiful. I'd never seen at that time, apart from Shinwe that I had met at the airport, I'd never seen any other girl that was so beautiful like that. She was so well taken care of, beautiful, nice. So, but you know what? You know, London, every summer, winter, everywhere. London, America, everywhere. Traveling, visa, not studying hard. Then what happened was, when we got to second year, she said, life here is too difficult. And it was difficult. Life here was difficult in Russia. I said, why should I? I'm going to become an air hostess. I'm going to become an air hostess. I'm going to America. My father is going to send me to America. So she left her scholarship, left the country, and left over, moved back to Nigeria. Because, she said, my father. So when she went, and the father said, what happened? He said, I lost interest. I don't want to continue my scholarship. She said, you have stayed there for 2 years or 3 years, and now you didn't even come back with any diploma, with any certificate. The father got so mad. And then there had been a military coup in the country. The father was no more in the political influential place. Everything that we think, they are temporal. The father had lost his influence, and the father was so mad that I thought I have said to you, I've given you your own destiny. You are having a scholarship, and just said, get out of my house, get out of my house. That girl, a governor's daughter, ended up trading from a state, going from a state to Lagos, selling wares, clothes, and children clothes by the roadside. Buying from Lagos to a state, and then she got pregnant, got pregnant to some boys while she was in Moscow on the way home, who was sleeping around, got pregnant, up to now, when I saw a picture, I was weeping. When I saw the picture of this girl, I was weeping. I was so broken. Because, when people that don't have value system, they follow on after temporary things that they see, temporary comfort, temporary, choices, things that just look nice at the moment. They are not living by the value systems that they're supposed to have. So that's the situation in Nigeria, for example. People are saying, because things are difficult, people are allowed to do what they want. Well, they are making the wrong choices that will have effect on them, on their family, and on the society at large. People are saying, people who get involved with crime or deception or Ponzi schemes or pyramids, that they are justified because things are tough. Well, there is no justification for what is wrong. And when you say, don't judge them, it's because this situation is tough. It's because you are just like them. You don't have this value system. You don't have a standard of the truth. So people who don't have value system, they just take decisions based upon whatever they feel at that particular time, based upon whatever they see, based upon their emotions, and based upon whatever anybody convinces them is right. The next point, people that don't have value system, a set of value systems, they only orient their lives based on money. Money, which is a physical thing. Money is mammon. Money is idol. Money is trees and leaves. Leaves become the Lord over those kind of people. Leaves have dominion over them. So money becomes their factor. So they begin to take decisions based on the fact that what will I get from it? If you are going to give me something, then I will do it. So they are servants to money. They are slaves to money. Why do I say slaves? The Bible says in Romans chapter 6 verse 12 to 16. Romans 6, 12 to 16, that to whom you give yourself to in obedience, to that you are a slave. Whatever factor causes you or decides your decision-making process, Whatever you give yourself to in obedience, to obey it. Whatever you give yourself to in obedience, you are a slave to that thing. Whatever compels you to take decisions, whatever compels you to obey, whatever motivates you, whatever pushes you to take decisions, you are a slave to that thing. To whom you give yourself. So if it is money that you always give yourself to in obedience, you are a slave to money. If it is money that is the determining factor in your decision-making process, you are captivated, enslaved by money. You don't belong to yourself. You are enslaved and captivated. You have a Lord over you. And that Lord is not God, Almighty God. That Lord, you can go to church, sing as much as you want to sing. You can go to church, do some assault, preach any message you want to preach. But at the end of the day, whatsoever it is that stands as the motivating factor on the decision that you take, and if that is self, it means you are a slave to self. If that is money, it means you are a slave to money. You obey to whatever makes you to obey. Whatever you obey, whatever desires you obey is your Lord. If it is your value system that determine and dictate your decision, it means you are a slave to your value system. And that's the way to live. We are all supposed to be slaves to our worldviews. We are supposed to be slaves to our values. And that's why we must have biblical values, biblical worldviews. So we are slaves to God because we are taking decisions based on His standards. So if you are taking your decisions based on your emotions, it means it's your emotions that is your God. Not Jesus is your God, but your emotions. It is what you obey that is your Lord. It is what causes you to obey that is your Lord. If it is money, that is your Lord. If it is egocentrism, selfishness, that is your Lord. So that's why we must bring up our children in such a way that they will have such a strong value system that the only basis upon which they take their decisions is those value systems. And those godly standards. And those value systems, godly standards, is whom they are slave to. So they are being directed by God. And they are slaves to God. That is why when we talk about philosophy, it must be idealistic philosophy, worldview. And that's why it's important to have a value system. People who have value systems, they love the truth above their lives. People that have value system, they exalt values, principles, truth above their own very lives. They know that they could die, but they will live forever thanks to values and truth. Truth will live forever. They will live forever. But those people who don't have value system, they don't love the truth. They compromise the truth. They play with the truth. The truth is relative to them. The truth is just an instrument that they use to promote themselves for their own gain, to have their own gain. The truth is whatever they use to make sure that they serve their interest. But the people that have worldviews or value systems, they have exalted the truth above themselves. That's why even God has to do that. The Bible said God has exalted His word above His names. Even is the truth. The word stands for the truth. The word stands for standards. The word stands for principles. He has exalted value system, values, principles above even His names. Because you can just come and be calling upon His name left and right. But how are you? Who determines your decisions? The truth should determine your decisions. Your decision-making process should be based on the power of the truth that you are submitted to and you are subjected to. You are supposed to subject yourself to the power and the dominion of the truth. So people could say another factor that determines the decisions and that influences the decision-making process of people who don't have value is how they are feeling. Oh, I don't feel nice, so I will not do it. But when you are a person of value, you know that you must go and you must get the thing done. Think what must be done must be done. It doesn't matter if I feel good or I don't feel good. If what I must be done must be done. Values are more important than what I'm feeling right now. Or if I say they will criticize me, it doesn't matter if they will criticize me. I don't care as long as I'm establishing the truth. If the purpose is to establish and proclaim righteousness, the truth must be proclaimed. It doesn't matter what the consequence is to me or what the consequence is going to be to me. But for people who don't have value system, it is the consequences that makes them to take one decision or the other. If the consequence is going to be bad, then they take the wrong decision. If it's going to be good, they take the other one. But someone of value, is committed to the principle, to the truth, even at the cost of his own convenience or comfort. This doesn't mean you will not have weaknesses, you will not have failures, but you still committed. You still have your own commitment. Your worldview is still the same. Even when you fail, even when you cannot make it, even when you make mistakes, even when you fail, even when you cannot do it, you fall. Even when you fall, you get up because you know your value system, you know your worldview. So you are always, just like the compass. The compass can go down, you go to the west, you can go to the south, you go to the east, but it comes back to the north. The compass will always come back to the north. Another problem, of course, with people who don't have value system is that they are never really stable. You never know their position. You never know where they are. They always have double faces. Double faces. They are always changing positions. And they are always acting according to their interest. These people are always under the control of the public opinion as well. Public opinion determines their opinion. Public opinion determines what they do or what they don't do. Public opinion, what people will say, how people think about them. In fact, some people, oh my God. Even some people on this platform will refuse to identify with this platform or to even write their name because public opinion will not allow them to do that, because public opinion they don't have the spine. They don't have the moral values. They don't have the compass. They don't have the moral compass. They don't have the value system to hold them. They don't have the spine. So wherever the wind blows, that is where they blow. Wherever the tide goes, that's where they go. No system of values. No supreme system of values. No absolute system of values. And the thing with people like that have value system is that they have absolute view of the truth. The truth to them is absolute. It's not maybe today, maybe it's not today. Maybe tomorrow is like this, the day after tomorrow is like that. They are always establishing the truth. See this photograph. This is the lifestyle of people who don't have value system. So if your child is raised up like without the system of value, it will just be changing faces all the time. By the way, if you have not shared this video yet, let's go ahead and share this video. Let's go ahead and share the video. If you have not shared this video, it might be helpful for you to have a copy and share the video. So go ahead and share the video, please. Let's, not too many of us have shared the video. Let's go ahead and share the video.